Alright, Outset with GM4's status update. They didn't appear to add a huge amount of tactility to the click over the Huanos. It does feel, well, yeah, I mean the click is slightly closer to the top of the button travel, the usual Kailh thing. And also, it's gotten a tiny bit stiffer, although it's still very spammable. But the main thing is just that the GM4s, and you can hear it, there's more of like a hollow sound. And there's actually more like, it's not tactile feedback, but it's like just vibration or rattle coming back through the switch compared to the Huanos. So it hasn't ruined the mouse, definitely, but I wouldn't really say it's improved it much. So since I noticed before that the stock Huanos were in the the sub 60 gram range, I grabbed the two stiffest Japanese Omrons that I had with the original plungers, and I wanted to try these because if you remember, I have actually a huge amount of material in here doing pre-travel removal on these switches, so I think potentially just going to a totally taller plunger might be fun to try. And we're going to go slightly the other way, an even slightly lighter than stock switch. See if that makes a meaningful difference. So that's the update. I guess if you want to go for some of the stiffer than average and like the really crispy GM4s, you might see a bigger change here. But at the very least, something in the GM4 or the light GM4 or the kind of GM8 range isn't really doing any revolutions in terms of making the Outset have nicer clicks. So hey guys, so I wanted to give some feedback on running Japanese Omron D2F-01Fs in my Outset for the last few days. So I'll try to demo the click first. Some pre-travel. And that's not loose rattle, that's in the switch itself. And then we got quite a sharp, crisp sort of click. Happens over a very short physical amount of button motion. It's an Outset, so it's got a lot of post-travel regardless of what switch is in it. But it feels reasonably firm in terms of rebound force. And you can click really, really fast with it. Basically, I wanted to like these switches in this mouse, but I just don't. Couple reasons. First one, they're a little bit too light. I have like 10 of these switches. I put the two stiffest ones I had in here, and they weren't stiff enough. It's pretty normal for these switches to be in that range. So generally speaking, I'd want something a little bit stiffer. For comparison, the stock Huanos I pulled out of this particular Outset were only, I think, maybe 3 grams force stiffer. We're talking like 5% stiffer at most. And that was just enough of a difference maker. When combined with the other main gripe that I had, that these switches felt kind of weak by comparison. The level of tactility is good. Even if I deafen myself, I still know I clicked every time I click with these, so that's not a problem. Again, nor is the crispness of the click, nor is the amount of pre and post travel. No real complaints with any of that. The other complaint that I have, aside from the actual stiffness, is the way that the build up to the actual click happens. So if I were to analog this to gun triggers, if I had like a two-stage match trigger and I want to have like a, you know, some nice take up, and then I want it to reach a wall, and then I want to be able to pull cleanly to break through that wall, right? Um, in this case, I have some nice take up and I have a nice break, but the wall itself is just too weak or indistinct. So it's hard for me to go through the take up travel without accidentally pushing too far and and clicking when I don't mean to. And it's not bad right at first. Like if I'm fresh, you know, if I'm good shape, I can pay a lot of attention to controlling my clicks. They work well. But the more tired I am, or the more adrenaline I've got going, the more demanding the game that I'm playing is in terms of concentration, and trying to absorb a lot of information on screen, do a lot of decision making, that kind of thing, the harder it is to devote mental energy to controlling my clicks, and the more I become prone to clicking on accident. So it's a switch which is good right at the start of the day when I'm really fresh, but my performance with it falls off pretty quickly, and the difference is quite significant between fresh me using this mouse and tired me using this mouse. And I just don't like that feel that much. I'd rather pick stuff that I play well with when I'm tired, so that I have a more consistent level of performance throughout the day. And again, I'm not talking like 6 hours into a gaming session. I mean like over the course of 30 minutes of play. Um, yeah. So anyway, that's sort of quick summary on it. I tried the GM4s, you know, and they were, the extra tactility didn't really do anything for me. Just made the whole mouse shell vibrate. I don't really need a hyper tactile switch to feel it. So yeah, not really a benefit. And then of course the click sound, the hollowness, and the vibration through the mouse was just not as nice. So I didn't really like those too much. And these are too far the other way. I mean the tactility is fine, right? And the shell doesn't vibrate, which is nice. But the wall is too indistinct, and I don't play well with these switches when I'm tired. So I think, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, this is part of why I liked the Outset to start with, was that they did a good job picking switches in terms of finding ones that suit what I look for. And that's why I became a fan of using them in my other mice too. They're just a good switch for what I do, for what I'm looking for. I could go back to stock. I think I'm probably not going to. I think I'm going to try a similar stiffness set of Huano blue shell white dots, just for fun, just to have something a little bit, you know, different in there. But at the end of the day, it's still going to be something pretty close to the stock clicks, and just be happy with that. So anyway, hopefully this was helpful for any of you guys who got an Outset and are thinking about throwing different switches in there. Some ideas of switches I haven't tried that might be worth considering. If you can get some lighter Kailh GM2s, perhaps they might be good. Or maybe Zippy DF3P1s might be like a slightly stiffer switch that I've heard are similar to the O1Fs in terms of the crispness of the click. So if they have a little bit better of a characteristic in terms of a more clearly defined wall and they're slightly stiffer, then those would be a really good option. But again, haven't tried them, so I can't recommend it personally. Right. Hey guys, so I went ahead and put blue shell white dots in my Outset, and I also decided to try using some material to limit the amount of post travel. So normally when I would squeeze it all the way down, I could make that shell touch up here, and now it doesn't. And also the amount of resistance goes up significantly after that point. Anyway, not a huge deal. Just makes the clicks feel a little bit more like MB-01. And this is the good part about the blue shell white dots, is they have a really intuitive wall to them, like I was talking about in the 01F section. So basically, feels like stock switches in here, just a little bit louder, a little bit more tactile, and slightly more sort of take up resistance when it gets near the wall. So really easy switch to have an intuitive feel for, and probably still my favorite. Just raw in terms of click feel, as a kind of throw it in anything that already has good clicks replacement option. So yeah, got it back to feeling slightly better than stock, but very close. And overall, happy with it. And now just get to enjoy it with less hang-ups about what could be, might be, because I hadn't tried it.